Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are you guys? If you're new, I am the Handicapable Black Woman. I talk about a lot of things. Lately, it's been a lot of political, dating nightmares, river of racism, but I also will start doing, again, Reddit situations and so much more, or especially with my writing exercises. What makes a villain? How does a villain develop? What is in a good book? And what makes a person good? And so, kind of like the good versus evil, because especially politically, certain people try to put a certain party into the light of these people are good because dot dot dot, but I'll get into that later. And then, oh, a lot of catfish episodes. I just posted some like past catfish guys that I talked to last year and then last week. Yeah, I have so many in my phone sometimes while I'm searching for evidence for one episode. I'm like, oh, I got this too. So one day or 1 month at like, I'm, you know what? I'm going to be determined to finish my novel, at least the first novel. After it is published, maybe right after that, I will go through my phone and just load everything on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and anywhere and everywhere I can. I think that'll be the best thing so that at least if anyone ever tries to claim that I'm lying or I'm making things up, I can just say, okay, just go back, just go to one of my social medias. I don't like, doesn't matter which one, because yeah, I have enough for over 3 episodes, which my listeners have already heard so many times. And the last 2 or 3 episodes, I have new screenshots up there. Some are previous, but not everyone's gonna watch every episode, and I want to make sure there are certain screenshots of, especially when the guy called me the N word, and when men call me the R word, and when men say that I'm nothing but Jim Crow or a slave because I'm a progressive liberal Democrat. And I know some of my videos, well, it there I could be friends with Republicans. I know some Republicans listening to my videos, they think I don't like them. It's not that. It's just the hate that I get from your party is just to the point where I feel like I have every right to be petty. I have every right to have a smart mouth. It's like I know Mrs. Obama say when they go low, you go high. I have been going high for so long. I have tried to be the good person. And on dating apps, I thought instead of matching with somebody and then asking, are you a Republican? To just on my profile say, okay, I'm not compatible with Republicans. So just say we can be friends. But if you're thinking of dating and you're a Republican or a Trump supporter, we're not a match. That was my goal. But me creating my standards list created a whole series of dating nightmares. With my education, I I kept dating men who didn't have college degrees or trades or certifications, and for some reason some of them will pretend they're okay with my education, but then they would have jokes or be sarcastic or, oh, you owe so much money, you wasted so much money, oh, you're never going to use this, or yeah, you teach, but yeah, it's like all your education did was teach you how to teach. What good is, and it's just, it was, and or my ex-boyfriends, Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart, who while I was working on my second master's with Mr. Lockakey. At first, he love bombed me, and I never wanted to date him. But listen to previous episodes, I talked about that or whatever. But it wasn't until I was in the middle of my second master's that he realized, oh, she's actually going to try to finish this, and so that in some ways he tried to stop me or block me. And then with Mr. No Heart, his mother telling me straight to my face the first night I meet her, the only reason I got into colleges because I'm black, and he never had my back. He didn't defend me. He just went back to the TV room, or at first he was in the basement playing pool with his brother, but then he kind of heard my response to it and he ran up. Oh no, oh no, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. All you heard was like going up the stairs and everything like that. So, but anyway, it's like whenever I was succeeding, whenever, like, even with my credit score, when, like, because I mean, I've always, well, I can't say I've always had a good credit score, but for, especially like once I fixed the issue after someone stole my credit and literally stole money out of my account. Yeah, but yeah, that's another story I will talk about soon. But yeah, I need to add that to my list too. I have a long list, but all in all, I have a long list of episodes. I have a lot of talks, personal stories, politics, like river of racism. Oh, the screenshots. Like I said, I am going to be trying to post as many as I can. I want to start doing lives, and then the Handicapable Black Nerd channel. I need to start just recording all day, writing and recording all day. And I think part of my reason why the novel's not finished yet, or I thought like I would be done by the end of this month, but trying to have an episode every single day on here, and then write, and then physical therapy, because yeah, disability life, people just don't understand. But okay, all in all, it's like that kind of gave me a good introduction, because this is relating to dating and relating to Mr. No Heart, because there was a time in our relationship where I, like, during our relationship, he has two daughters, and he kept calling them mistakes. And he kept telling me that I was fortunate and I was lucky and I should be so happy that I don't have kids. Having kids is a mistake, don't have them. And throughout the entire relationship, I knew he was brainwashing me. And maybe brainwashing isn't the exact word, but close to it, synonym to it. I'll look him up anyway. Because there were certain things where he just kept trying to instill in me. And he knew, like, from the beginning of our relationship, I said I want to adopt and foster. And at the beginning, he said he was okay with that. And he said that just shows how big of a heart I have. But then once, like, we started, like, talking more, and then he asked to make it official, because at first we were just friends. He was still married. He was going through a divorce. So we were, at first, we were like, oh, okay, we can hang out. Because we both love anime and we had a lot of things in common. And he was good. He was nice to talk to. But then I realized he was just wearing a mask. He talked to me because he knows I love talking and debating and watching documentaries. So he did that for the first couple months, but then it stopped. It only happened like at night once, like, it changed a lot throughout the relationship, where it was only when he knew I'd be like, oh yeah, a documentary. It's like, we haven't had this in a long time. So, but with the kids, in the middle of our relationship, I think it was around year 3 or 4, I realized, I was like, no, I want to adopt. I want to foster. And I remember starting to have that conversation with him and telling him, like, I'm going to be saving money for our house. And it's like, we can still date, but we're just going to be in two different houses because I'm going to adopt. And he was like, no, you're not. We're not having any kids. And I'm like, okay, you're not having any kids. I will have kids. And yeah, next thing I know, he starts threatening that he's going to break up with me. If you have kids, if we have kids, he was like, I was like, no, you don't have to sign the paperwork. Adoption. Yes. Okay, so now I don't know where I left off, because yeah, ooh, situations, life is happening. But okay, anyway, he basically was telling me that Okay, well, if you want kids, we're going to break up. If you want kids, I already have my daughters. I don't want any more. I didn't want them to begin with. And he didn't say in those exact words, but he said it in a roundabout way where he was kind of harsh but then gentle, or he was trying to, yeah, it was just really odd. And to the point where I, in the back of my mind, a lot of you already know what my mom told me a lot. As long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. And that is the reason why I stayed with him so long. That is the reason why I brushed my goals and wants away. And I sounded like a pick me. Oh my gosh. Oh, it makes me want to vomit. But yeah, I wanted to stay in a relationship. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I have is to just not think you're a failure if you're single. Don't think that just because you're not dating or married or whatever, it's because you're a failure because no one wants you. Maybe it's because you are figuring out your value, or you know your value, you know the types of people that will take you away or distract you from your goals. Because I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that late in life. I had to go through a lot of mental gymnastics because while he was telling me, okay, we're going to break up if you want kids, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, no, I can't be single. I can't be single. It's like you want to be together forever. You want somebody that's going to be there until one of us passes away. That's exactly what I need. You don't want to get married because like your ex-wife, whatever, I don't like, and then you both of your parents divorced, blah blah blah. You've already been through all that drama. So it's like, but as like, yeah, so my mom might be right about no one wanting to marry me, but I need at least to be with somebody. I can't be single. I can't be single. And so now he's threatening to make me single. And I am scared because my walking is getting worse. And if it was already hard enough to be in a relationship because of my education or degrees, because as you guys know about how a lot of men acted with my education or my walking/disability or being black. Oh, yeah, there's some racists out there, especially racist parents, but especially some of the parents who are older, like my parents. They went through segregation, so yeah, not surprised. But anyway, I had to make a big decision. And so I remember that Saturday too, because I got to his house because I thought we were just going to talk it out. I thought we were going to try to figure it out because I told him, like, we don't have to live together. And it was crazy because I was the one saving for a house. I was the one, like, paying off my credit debt from, like, just someone stealing from my credit and then trying to find work when I couldn't find work, but I had to pay bills. And, like, some of you know how life is. But I finally had 2/3 jobs depending on the day, the month, or year, whatever. And so I was paying all of that off, and I was investing money, and I was putting money into an account for a mortgage. And I was so excited because I'm like, in 2 or 3 years, I will be all set to adopt, and I will get to be a mom, and I will get to make sure that I encourage and like uplift some of these kids that have been stuck in the system. And I will make sure they are loved and appreciated. And I will make sure they find out what their goals are. And because I wanted to even create another account with money to like grow an interest in things for karate lessons or ballet or whatever sport, gymnastics, whatever. because I'm like, okay. Or if they want to start a business, or if they want to learn like cooking or baking or whatever, it's like if I can have the extra funds so that I can cater towards that, so I can make them the best that they can be, then they can be an entrepreneur. They can own what they want to be, and they don't have to be scared about the workforce or anything like that. They will be such a professional. Even they can be in the job force, but they can decide, and it's like they will be competitive, and it will be their passion. It will be something that they want to do. That was my goal. And I just remember when I drove up to the driveway and I called him to tell him that I was at his house. Oh, he wanted to make sure that it was either his way or no way. Because this is the time he came out of the house with my belongings. And it's really funny because now that we're broken up, now that it's over, he refuses to drop off my stuff. He tells me once I can drive over to his house to come and get it. And I'm just like, uh, you wouldn't even call me. Like, yeah, it's like, I've said parts of the story about our breakup. I don't think I really said everything in depth, but it's like, yeah, again, I've talked about this in previous episodes. And I just remember he came out the house with my stuff and he got into my car. And I'm just looking at him like, what is going on? And he's like, okay, so do you still want kids or don't you? If you want kids, then here's your stuff and it'll be over. Don't contact me. And I'm just like, after everything we've been through, it's like I helped you out with, like, I'm trying to think how long before what did I get his vehicle out of repo? How, like, at what time around that period did he forget to pay the bill so he had no heat at his house? And so I bought food and I sheltered him and his daughters for the weekend or for part of the weekend. And how many times did he tell me he didn't have gas money to go to work? But he spent it all on 420, but anyway. And it's just like one thing after another. I realized that he just wanted power, and that's like a lot of men, especially like he's a so-called Democrat, but his family is Trump. So, and sometimes he said some racist things where when I put him in his place, oh, that's not racist. I live around black people. I live is like in this city, and it's just like, what does that have to do with anything? It's like slave owners lived right next to their slaves. So yeah, try that, try again, try again. And so there was a couple times where he kind of apologized, but then he always called his family members idiots. Oh, they're idiots. I don't know how they can vote for that for Trump. I don't know how they can vote for him. And, oh yeah, don't pay them any attention, just ignore them. But then when they would come up to me and say the awful racist garbage, or when they would, especially the racism, some like their kids would literally post like with their high school or schools or whatever, there was this trend of these are my N words, these are my true N words. And I remember when I found out about this because his oldest daughter started doing it, and I was just like, what are you doing? Excuse me? And I shouldn't have said anything yet, but because they all went back and erased all the history. And so when I went to him and he went and even talked to his brother and his sister-in-law, everything was gone. So they all called me a liar. And then I remember when the oldest daughter was just like, I'm not getting in trouble for that. And I was like, so you erased it? Okay, I see. And now I'm gonna look like the bad guy, or I'm gonna look like the boy who called Wolf. It's like, Oh, it's like she just wants to say something's racist and it's not racist. She was making stuff up. No, I wasn't. But yeah, this is the guy I dated. This is the guy, like, I was so scared to be single, but I should have celebrated that this guy meant no good for me. He meant absolutely no good. No. It's like with my degrees, he hated that I had 3 degrees. He dated me, but he hated it. Whenever I accomplished something, or especially even with my jobs, paying off my debt, and then like like investing got on his nerves, and he shrugged me away with that one. And but it was really funny because when he had to buy a used vehicle because his vehicle broke down, who did he go to because he didn't have enough money for the down payment? I know I've said this a few times, but it's like he does not remember, like, countless things I've done and things that his family didn't help him. His parents didn't help him with. Like, he came to me. He came to me. And the 2 or 3 times where I needed him, he shrugged his shoulders and told me, go call your father, go get somebody else. When I had to have a knee replacement, when I had to have surgery, when I could no longer walk, he was not there for me. He could care less, or he couldn't care less. It's like, it was so, when my mother died, he did not go to her funeral. I begged him. I literally begged him. After my surgery, too, he didn't visit me, didn't call me. And I'm like, okay, you know what? That's going to be one of the next episodes. It's like I talked about, like, listen to the oil change episode because that's a great example about how he treated me. Because yeah, the oil change example is basically how majority of our relationship was. And I was too scared to leave, but I was so tired of him, but I was so scared to leave. And to be honest, it was nice to love somebody even though I couldn't stand them. It's like, giving love still felt to me like, and even though, like, I would be so frustrated with him, and I would be like, why is he such a jerk? Why is he so terrible to me? It's like he says he loves me, but he treats me like I am beneath him and his ex-wife. It's like, but then I, I kind of realize I see why his ex-wife cheated on him and left him. I see, because if this is how he is, if this is the guy, I like, I don't believe in cheating, but at the same time, I don't blame her. I don't. And I think he knew he was able to take advantage of my mental health because I was scared of being single. My mother told me, and she turned out to be right. No one is going to ever love me or want me or marry me. But at the same time, I need to love myself. I need to appreciate and adore who I am and who I want to be. And I have to strive for my goals. And I can be a single mom. I can be a single mom. And I will rock at that because I have so much love to give. And I won't have to deal with someone who was so selfish and conniving and despicable. But I just remember when he got in the vehicle with my belongings. I just remember my anxiety, and I was scared, and I kept thinking, like, who's gonna date me now? Who's gonna date me now? I don't know. It's like, oh my gosh, no one's gonna date me anymore. I was like, I'm gonna be alone. My mom's gonna be right. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And yeah, all of that was going, that and more. But I just at the end of the day, I waved the white flag and I said, fine, I won't adopt. I won't. We'll live in the same house. And he used me then too because he knew I was saving for a house. And he kept saying, "Oh, when you get a house, I'm gonna buy you a puppy." Yeah. You're going to buy me the puppy because you're going to bring your daughters with you. You know, I am busting my tush off for a really nice house. And you know that I have a good credit score, and you know that I'm working just as hard as I possibly can, and you want to take advantage of it. And you want your daughters to do so too, even though your youngest daughter literally comes up to me and tells me I hate you on a regular basis, on a regular basis. And but then yeah, he didn't do anything about it. But yeah, he's gonna buy me a puppy. Yeah, he was gonna buy me a puppy because he knew he was using me, but he thought that would be good enough to shut me up. He didn't realize, like, no, I'm gonna get that puppy and I'm gonna have my kids and I'm gonna live my life happily. If I'm gonna be single, at least I'm gonna be happy. And that's why with dating nightmares now, when these men write me telling me that I am supposed to date men that I'm not compatible with just so I'm not single, or that no man's gonna want me because I'm dried up. Oh, it's like, okay, boo boo. If no one's gonna want me, that's fine. I've lived a very interesting life. I have life lessons that no one can take away from me. And a lot of these men have encouraged me even more to keep going and keep being better and keep striving for more and more and just an exorbitant amount more. It's like they want to hate me now. I want to make them hate me even more. So haterade tastes delicious. Just add, just add a little sugar, a pinch of cinnamon. It tastes delicious. So, but anyway, this is the Handicapable Black Woman. I am a woman. I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. And yeah, don't sacrifice the love for yourself for someone who's just going to damage you, for someone who doesn't care about you, for someone who, at the end of the day, they're just going to use you and take everything they can in order for their happiness, even though it's going to torment you. That's what they love. That's what their goal is at the end of the day. Don't let it happen. Learn from me, please. Do not let that happen. Take care.